MMA fighting here at UFC 228, speaking to Carla Esparza, who fights Tatiana Suarez on Saturday night. And first things first, Carla, I mean, you've been fighting in this women's division for a long time, before the UFC even had the divisions. What does it say to you, I guess, that now on a $60 pay-per-view, 40% of the fights are women's, including the co-main event championship fight, and you're also headlining the prelims too. What does it just say to you about where we are as a sport?
It's just so fantastic for me to see women evolving in the sport so much, and going from people not really respecting the women's fighting to now it's just like you said, it's like a big part of the card. There's 4 women's fights on this card. It's just, for me, it's a very emotional thing to just see it come this far, being one of the pioneers and still being in it. So to me, I just couldn't be happier about it.
Well, I mean, both you and Tatiana come from a wrestling base. Just as a pure wrestler, how would you assess her skills as a wrestler?
Oh, it really doesn't get much better than Tatiana as far as wrestling goes. I mean, she was a multi-time world medalist. Had she not gotten sick, I think she would have been an Olympic medalist, possibly a champion. So she's definitely top of the wrestling spectrum for sure.
I mean, it's interesting because you're the former champion. You're the one who's been here at the top of this division, and yet you're the second biggest underdog on the entire card. I'm just curious, why do you think that is?
I think that Tatiana's really been dominating, everyone who's been put in front of her. So I think she has a lot of hype behind her for sure. But, I think people tend to underestimate me a lot, so I'm used to it.
I mean, you grin when you say that. Is being everyone doubting you, is that a position you relish?
Yeah, I do, because to me there's not as much pressure. I can just go in there and just surprise people, as I've been doing since I've been in the division.
Well, switching gears a little bit, the Claudia fight was a long time coming. It was a very, very close fight, very controversial fight in some people's eyes. And afterwards, she's the one asking for a rematch with you, even though she won. What does that say to you?
I think that the fans have kind of made their opinions and their thoughts very vocal, and I think she hears that, and I think that, she may have won on paper, but a lot of people don't feel that she won the fight, so I think she wants to step in there and just really make it happen, and so do I.
I mean, that was my next question. Do you feel like this rivalry is over, or is there a lot more to come still with you two?
Oh, there's definitely a lot more to come. It's not my focus right now, as I have someone else in front of me, but I definitely see that rematch happening.
Well, in your last few fights, and in that fight in particular, your striking looked really good, really improved. I know for you that for a long time that was a focus of yours, really well-rounding out your game. Where do you feel like you are with that? Does it feel like it's finally clicked?
Yeah, I think throughout my last few fights, I've just been getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, and last fight was kind of the culmination of that. Yeah, and I think hopefully next fight, hopefully you say the same thing after this fight.
Well, I mean, you were talking a little bit about Tatiana's wrestling credentials at the top. Is there a chance you go out there and try to just out-wrestle her, maybe to prove a point?
There's always a chance.
Are you impressed by anything she's done so far in the UFC?
Oh, of course. I mean, as I said, she's been beating everyone in really dominant fashion. She's won tough, and her wrestling is, some of the best in the division, if not probably the best. So I'm definitely impressed by her, and I think she's going to be a very difficult opponent.
Well, then paint me a picture. How does it look on Saturday night? How do you get it done against Tatiana?
Hopefully, everything I've been training, I've been focusing a lot on my wrestling and my grappling, so hopefully I'm able to outshine her. I think if things get into dark waters or kind of, mixed up, I'm kind of more used to seeing a lot of these things, having more experience, so hopefully that's going to give me the edge.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.